Welcome to this meditation demonstration. For this practice, I'm just going to guide you all through typical awareness of breath meditation. So, whether you're just starting out and this is your very first time attempting meditation, or maybe you are an experienced meditator and just want a refresher, this video is designed to help you understand posture, breath, and the basics of mindfulness-based meditation. If you have been intimidated by the length of meditation in the past, don't worry, we're not going to have an extensive time here. Our main objective is just to get a feel for what meditation is like. You can expand this practice as much as you want. In fact, when we get to the end here, if you feel like you'd like to keep going, please do that. Okay. So I want to start out by talking about posture. When meditating, Um, people sometimes prefer to sit on a cushion or a chair or even sitting in a seiza position. Um, what we often think about is a full lotus position. If you are flexible enough to be in that sitting position, more power to you. I am not that person. Um, and I also want to just point out that you don't have to be either. There's no perfect way of doing this. Our main objective in posture is just to make sure we can breathe easily and freely, having a flow of energy and a flow of breath that's not obstructed. We also want to help our bodies settle in. So, if you're new to this, you may be activating groups of muscles that aren't used to being activated. So, some mild discomfort or even a little bit of fatigue or soreness, maybe in the back or other parts of your body, that's normal. It's perfectly acceptable. What's important to note is that discomfort is not the same as pain. If you are in pain, please change the position you're sitting in. Take care of yourself. This is not something that you need to bear through or suffer through. Um, at the very least, it's distracting and will create an unnecessary obstacle in helping you focus on your breath and practice the meditation. Um, at very most, you may be hurting yourself, and we absolutely do not want you to do that. So, I am sitting in a chair. I elected to do the chair because I think that's the most approachable thing, particularly if you're starting out with meditation. You are more than welcome to try a meditation cushion. In fact, I encourage you to do so as you build upon your practice. You can purchase a meditation cushion online. You can go to brick and mortar stores. They range in price from anywhere $20 to 60 and up. Um, I have a $20 bean-filled meditation cushion. They they vary in uh, thickness and width. Try them out. See what works for you. I'm not going to recommend anything specific in this video because I do want you to feel it out. See what's most comfortable for you. More important than comfort, see what works for you. Okay. So as far as alignment, maybe you can tell that my back is straight. My shoulders, chin, forehead, nose, they're all in alignment. So picture and imagine you have an axis coming down the center of your head, uh, measuring up your head in sync with your shoulders and your sternum, and following all the way down into your spine and hips, and connecting to whatever you're sitting. Another way of visualizing this is picturing and imagining that you have a string tied to the top of your head, pulling you all the way up to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside until you feel a light stretch and your back feels straight. Everything feels aligned. And then you would imagine just cutting that string and settling in, allowing your hands to rest wherever they fall. A good place to keep them is on your lap. You can have them closer to your knees if you prefer, or maybe further in towards your hips. Feel this out. Notice what feels right for you. We don't want strain or pull on your shoulders. This is also designed to help us with our posture. If we kept them by our sides, we may be more likely to slump. If we kept them on our hips or somewhere else, we may be more likely to force a posture. We're not trying to force anything. We're having a natural alignment in our body and sitting in a posture that helps us optimize breathing so that we can gain maximum benefit with minimal distress. If it's helpful to see a side view, notice how I'm sitting here. My legs are angled, feet flat on the floor, my back straight up, like I mentioned, hands in the lap. So if you need to pause the video and play around with your posture for a moment, please feel free to do that and resume when you're ready. As far as your feet, I encourage you to have your shoes off. Feel your connection to the floor. You can be completely barefoot, even better. If you're sitting on a cushion, you would ideally like for your legs to be slightly crossed as much as you can. Don't strain any stretches there. And having your knees below your waistline. So basically, we're not sitting like this. Again, optimum breathing flow here. And as we continue moving forward, practice, you may notice as you get into it that your eyes want to close. That is okay. You can let your eyes close. In fact, some people prefer that. Um, I actually go back and forth between having my eyes closed or slightly open. One thing you'll want to notice is if you tend to daydream, visualize, disappear, and it's harder for you to recognize when you have drifted from your point of focus, meditation, which will be our breath. Perhaps it's better for you, at least in the beginning, to have your eyes slightly open. So we aren't processing or analyzing or labeling anything we're looking at. We're just keeping our eyes open just enough to let the light in. If you need a little extra help, you can find a focal point in front. You can mark on the floor about 3 to 5 feet. But really, what you want to do is just have your eyes open just enough to let the light in. Again, no strain. Your eyes decide they want to close. Let's not get in their way. And close. You may notice that I didn't mention lying down. If that's something you need to do to not be in pain, then please do that. The reason we don't recommend lying down is because, well, it's easy to fall asleep. And if your body needs sleep, then I'm glad you got it through this practice. But I would like for you to actually experience the meditation here. So for that, we would want to stay awake. So this is about awakening our senses and purposefully and intentionally being in this moment, the one we're in, which is a little hard to do when we're asleep. Okay, so you'll notice that I'll be talking through some of the meditation and I'll be silent through some of the meditation. Your mind will wander. You will have thoughts. Brains think that's what they do, and it's perfectly okay. We're generally pretty excited that our brains think because they're working. Thoughts can be overwhelming and they can take us all over the place, different places, different times. So, meditation is not about staying focused on one thing indefinitely or for a fixed amount of time. Mindfulness meditation is actually more about recognizing, having enough awareness to recognize when you have drifted away from what you mean to focus on, gently bringing yourself back to it. Again, that's going to be our breath in this practice. It could also be flame of a candle, a plant. Okay, let's start. So allow yourself to be in the position we've discussed. We call it a dignified position. Be aware of the position of your foot drifting from one side to the other, allowing your chin to fall to your chest. That really restricts the flow of breathing. Do that. We also don't want our nose pointed toward the ceiling because that also extends muscles and constricts the breath. Do that. Again, spine straight and aligned. Just let yourself breathe. You're already doing it. There's no need to control it. And since there's nowhere else or no other time we can be except where, let's be here. Go ahead and acknowledge all the things you may have come in, maybe thoughts, maybe stories about what this is going to be like, or anticipation of what comes next. Maybe you're aware of sounds or sensations in the space that you're in. All of that is perfectly fine. What we're going to do is acknowledge that we don't actually need to focus on any of that right now. And since we don't need to prioritize it, we're going to let it dissolve into the background, bringing all of our awareness into the breath. Noticing your breath coming out of your body, breathing through the nose. Feeling fill your lungs. You may find it helpful to notice the breeze, the tip of your nostrils with each breath. Or maybe you notice the rise and fall of your chest. If you need a little extra support in staying with the breath, you can quietly in your mind say the word in, breathing in as you inhale, out, or breathing out as you exhale. Notice where your mind is now. If you've drifted from your breath, be kind to yourself. Now, gently bring yourself back to your breath. Feeling the sensation of your breath. Feeling the act of breathing. And on your next breath in, follow the breath. Follow the sensation into your body. Feeling your breath fill your lungs, chest expand. Allow this awareness of your body to expand all the way to the top of your head, up to your feet. Just allowing a general sense of your body without needing to label or define what you're feeling. If you notice getting stuck on one sensation, you can practice, oh yeah, I noticed that. And purposefully, intentionally come back to breathing, feeling your breath comes in and out of your body. Your body's presence here in this space at this time. Notice your connection to the floor, the ground underneath you. Your sit bones connected to whatever you're sitting on. Now expanding your awareness to other life in your space. Evidence that you're a part of more than just you. Let's take one last deep breath in together through the nose. Brief pause. And releasing completely with a sigh. And if your eyes are closed, you're welcome to open them, getting a sense of the space you're in. Take your time here. There's no need to rush to what comes next. It defeats the purpose of what we've just done. So if you need more visual guide, there's a chart on this page right next to this video where you can see examples of how to sit. I encourage you and invite you to try to integrate meditation into your day. See if you can do it every day. Doesn't need to be long, even if it's just 3 to 5 minutes. If you want to carry it to 30, 40 plus minutes, please do. There's no pressure. If you want to do it twice a day, maybe encapsulating your day, beginning and end, that's great too. Maybe you want to experiment with which part of the day works best for you. I encourage that. If you're new to this practice, try it at different parts of the day. One of the primary obstacles reported for integrating meditation into daily life is people say they don't have time. I get it. Time is precious and it is filled with so many things eager to fill your time, whether it's work or family or content, consumption of infinite amounts of content. This is about prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your health just for a few minutes. So I encourage you to play around with this. You'll start to get a sense of how you want to sit. You'll get a sense of where you like to sit. Meet yourself where you already are. Build from there. It won't help you to try to jump to some place you think you should be. Also defeats the purpose of this practice. Okay, we did it. Good job. Thank you for being with me in this demonstration. And it will always live on this page. Anytime you need a quick reference, feel free to follow this video. Okay, thank you.